This story contains descriptions some may find upsetting. Day 7. Somewhere.
"What are you doing here, Hopkins?"
Hopkins' eyes adjusted to the darkness in the tent, and his nose to the stench. He saw his sergeant, Cooper, stripped to the waist. His forearms were bloodied. It was even in his moustache. He blinked sweat out of his eyes as he waited for Hopkins to answer.
"Well?"
The man in the chair was the reason. The man from the other side. The Boer. He was slumped forward now, his hands tied behind him, the only sound from him being the gentle tap of something dripping between his feet.
"Sir, is this really necessary?"
Is what really necessary, Hopkins? Hopkins felt a ball in his stomach.
"Come on, man, say it. I'm the one doing it and you can't even say it." "You're killing him, sir."
"No, I'm winning the war. Do you want to win this war, or stand over there with clean hands?"
"He doesn't know anything."
"Yes, you two seemed thick as thieves in camp this afternoon. I trust he shared everything he knew." The prisoner gurgled. Sergeant Cooper took a fistful of his hair and pulled him back up to sitting. The Boer coughed out a spray of blood and dropped his head to his shoulder.
"He shared that he was 17, sir."
"Older than I was when I was collared." He stretched his shoulders. "Did you know much about troop movements at that age, sir? Were they rolling out the supply line maps for you?" "Your tone is starting to hack me off, Hopkins. Get out. That's an order. We can discuss your behaviour in the morning." "Shame." He turned his back on Hopkins. Hopkins didn't move.
"I can't let you kill him."
Cooper let out a breath.
"Just get out, Hopkins. I shan't say it again."
Hopkins stepped towards the two men. He saw the muscles flex in the sergeant's back. He didn't see the arms spin out from the right. In a blink, the sergeant pivoted and caught Hopkins across the cheek with the back of his hand. Hopkins staggered left and felt the prickling heat grow on the side of his face.
"That was your last warning."
Cooper stood considering Hopkins, apparently curious as to what he would do next. So was Hopkins. He couldn't see any other option. From his slightly stooped stance, he launched himself at the sergeant's midriff, shoulder first. Cooper sidestepped the tackle, and Hopkins felt two iron hands clamp onto the back of his tunic, catching him as he went off balance. He braced himself to be thrown straight through the canvas wall, forced to accept he had lost all control of his own momentum. But the sergeant held on, pulled Hopkins up to standing, and like a whip crack, struck him in the back of the neck with something hard. Hopkins couldn't tell if it had been a fist or an elbow. It didn't matter. He was on all fours, his vision black and white. He vomited. Sergeant Cooper put a boot into Hopkins' ribs and he was flipped onto his back. His body wasn't working. His breath wasn't coming. Cooper may as well have been God leaning over him.
"Consider this a lesson, Hopkins. I feel you may have taken my point. Allow me to make one thing clear, however, while I have you. I outrank you not out of age. I am your superior because I am superior. I have won more fights. I have killed more men. I have done more and know more."
The sergeant's face slammed into Hopkins, and he let out a scream of rage and pain. Blood sprayed from his nose and mouth, and his strong arms flailed. Hopkins found the strength to wriggle free of his superior's body. As he did so, he saw the prisoner, still bound, glowering down at the gurgling Cooper, one of the wooden legs of the chair driven straight through his upper back. It had missed Hopkins by an inch. As Sergeant Cooper fell still, the captive looked up at Hopkins with that same murderous look. Even though the boy was still tied up, Hopkins felt the need to raise his hands, palms out. He moved around to the back of the chair and untied him. The boy sprang up, then swayed. Hopkins put a hand on his shoulder to steady him. For a moment, he thought the Boer would faint. "Are you all right?" He knew he didn't understand much, but the captive could hear the tone, and Hopkins hoped he remembered him from earlier in the day. The boy tipped his hand to his mouth. Water. Hopkins found a half-full skin on a crate. The captive drained it. What the bloody hell do they do now? Hopkins' head hurt. "We can't stay here." He pointed at the sergeant, at the boy, drew his finger across his throat. The boy pointed straight back at him. Right. This was a right old mess. "Kom saam met mij. Ik zal alles verduidelijk. Het zal jou wegsteken." Hopkins shook his head. The boy gestured between them both. Together. He flicked his fore and middle fingers back and forth like little legs. "We run." Hopkins took in a deep breath and nodded. He moved to the tent flap. His ribs protested, but he was glad to realize he wasn't too bad off. As for the boy, the camp outside was like a graveyard. There seemed to be almost no one to spot them, but they would be the loudest thing by far. Hopkins thanked God there was no moon. The boy was next to him. He was struggling. "Don't worry, we'll get you to safety." Hopkins saw a boy younger even than 17. "Christon," said the Boer, his hand on his chest. "Paul," said Hopkins. "Where are we going, Christon?" He shielded his eyes with his hand and mimed looking in different directions, pointed this way and that. Christon looked out of the tent too. "Somewhere," he said.